Hello, sweet angels. The equinox, and I'm lying on the beach in the sunshine in my smelly gym kit. But that bit doesn't matter. It's very nice being in the sun. And I haven't vlogged for ages. Just because it's too much effort, honestly. But I do think people are probably a little bit curious about what's going on for me. It's honestly not that interesting. It's like a very kind of quite heavy rotation of self-care. There's not much time for anything else. I guess the thing that I wanted to talk about was dating when you've got stage 4 cancer. Because I still think like, well, the people that are close to me know that I really want a relationship. And it's always been in my goals to be kissed and cuddled every night until I'm dead, even before I knew I was ill. So that's in my goals, but how the fuck are you supposed to, obviously that's need to know information, isn't it? So you have to disclose that at some point while dating. But when is a good time to do that? Because you should do it up front, so that nobody knows. Like there's no kind of like surprise, you like me now, but I've got cancer. But then it could be a bit too early, because then then you have to be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and what do you do? And then you have to like talk loads about cancer, which is like not really what you want to talk about in the early stages of dating. And I don't know, I'm sure, so that's like one conundrum. And like there's more, because say what you want, but I don't think I would ideally, like I think it would edit out, like the type of man that I want to be with wants to build a future with me. But then if you, medically speaking, don't necessarily have a future, then that could be very off-putting. But then again, if the situation were reversed and I met like my perfect, like muscle bear, super doting, Viking, wood chopping daddy, and he was like, I adore you, I want to be with you, but I have a terminal illness, that wouldn't stop me. I would be like, let us be together. But I think it might be a bit different the other way around. Men, tell me, what do you think? So yeah, I worry about being kind of treated differently and then like rejected on the basis of having cancer. But then again, I've been rejected for so many other reasons before I knew I was sick, and reasons that I very often don't know what the reason is, because I'm very rarely brave enough to ask what the reason is that someone rejected me for. And when I have been brave enough to ask, it's usually been something innocuous, like, oh, you live too far away, or it's not you, it's me. I've gotten that one a lot. Who knows if it's not you, it's me is true, but we've all had a bit of it's not you, it's me. But I mean, now more than ever, I've been clued in to secret knowledge, because I've always had secret knowledge, and I've often thought like I'm not really designed for this world, like everyone else seems to kind of weather it a bit better and fit in a bit better and do like hit achievements and goals a bit easier and faster than me. And I wonder if I've got like some like karmic sheath covering me, like stopping me from getting entangled with people in this 3D physical reality. And there's some like 11th dimensional being that's like, okay, you can go to planet Earth and reside there for a short lifetime, but I want you back, and you better not like have kids or fall in love with anyone in a like long-term, immensely loving way. And yet at the same time, I've always felt I was meant to have an immense, overarching love. It's what I am designed for. It is why I'm here. But maybe that's why I've been kind of called back prematurely. Maybe there's like a super hot 11th dimensional Viking waiting. Okay, and I've done without you for 41 years. Get your ass back into the infinite ocean of consciousness. Stop fucking around in 3 dimensions that's so limiting. Come back to me, I love you. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's the reason. But the secret knowledge that you get when you get stage 4 surprise cancer is that nothing's really important. Nothing's really important except for being present and kind and loving. So even if there is, you know, some enormous overarching metaphysical reason why I have to leave early, maybe that would explain some of the things I've been through in my life. Even if that's true, how could I possibly know it's true? I still want to be kissed and cuddled every day until I'm dead. So yeah, rays of the sun are kissing my bod through my cheap leggings. So imagine if a man were doing it, like that would be incredible. And it's not like it's not available, but like, you know, it's not complicated, is it? Like we all, women, I mean, want to feel safe and loved. Like that's it. That's it. And so why the guy hasn't shown up that can do that for me is confusing, honestly. Because who wouldn't want to make me feel safe and loved? I suppose that is my job, and I am doing that. But it is more fun with another person. Yeah, so I don't know what to do. My main question is, what is the protocol while dating for disclosing that you might die prematurely? But then I feel like it's not a special thing. We all might die prematurely, you know? Risk is inherent. Life is finite. So, I don't know. What do you think? Single people or knowledgeable people about dating? What are the rules? What's the ground rules? I don't want to, you know, cause any infraction, but it would be nice, wouldn't it? Like it would be good. Because yeah, like the only thing that means anything really is like presence. Yeah, we've come here out of like the infinite void where time isn't real. We've come here to experience time and 3 dimensions, haven't we? So time and 3 dimensions can be inherently sad, but it can also be so beautiful. Like how else would we see, you know, the steam rising on your cup of coffee? How else? Some French tourists come along to ruin it. Just while I'm getting really poetic and mystical. Of course you can experience presence alone, and that's like immense, but it's also very good with someone else there. Just a sunbeam on your lover's skin in the morning. You can't experience that when you're just infinite pure potential in the 11th dimension. So I'm watching the French tourists. I would be so horrified if she chooses to sit near me. She's slowed down. She better fucking not. There's a sexy fisherman over there who's more interesting than the French tourists. Anyway, yeah, don't know how to sign off from this. Please give me tips for how to get laid when you've got cancer. And not just laid, like this is the problem, isn't it? Like I want real intimacy. I want to feel safe and relaxed in a man's arms and like he's gonna, you know, protect me and build a life with me. But then, you know, if I can't offer a full life, I've only got like a fraction of it. But then again, I just also don't believe that. I'm also not really actually planning on dying early, even though the doctors are telling me that's going to happen no matter what I do. I just don't think that's real. I've always known I would have a long life. I literally came back from Korea when I lived there. I don't know, which winter was it? It was a really hideous pollution winter because South Korea likes to blame their air quality issue on China while simultaneously having all coal-fired power plants, which is hilarious and cute. But there was one winter that was like particularly awful. There was no wind and just the cloud of hideous pollution, which, you know, could have been the trigger for my now stage 4 cancer. That was the worst pollution year, and I decided to come home to England to live with my grandfather, who was 100 years old at the time, and he lived by himself because his wife, my granny, had been dead for probably like nearly 20 years at that point, maybe more. And he lived to be 103 and died in his own home 3 years later. What a fucking role model, basically. So that's my genetic inheritance. And if I let Eddie beat me, that would be a major infraction, honestly. So I've always believed and known that I would have an unreasonably long life. So tough to swallow this news, truthfully. It doesn't make me want a boyfriend any less, though. So, yeah. I wanted kids as well. That bit's sad. Because, you know, it's one thing leaving behind your partner, but you really, really can't leave behind your kids. But again, I'm not planning on it. So it just leaves you in this kind of like limbo of, where am I going with this? And then you have to have, if you're in there for romance, you have to have, where is this going? As a conversation, even sooner than you normally would have to have it. And it's not like I'm against having the where is this going conversation, but I have heard that men don't love it. The sexy fisherman's doing something good. Anyway, I suppose it's not like bad to be forced to lay out your intentions, is it? I guess being ill makes it even clearer what those intentions are. It has made me wonder though if this life I've had a kind of frustrated desire to meet the man and get my family started, and it never happened. Like people, I'd show up, I've met so many nice people, and for whatever reason they just seem to bounce away, so promising, and then they disappear. And it doesn't make sense to me why, because I've always wanted a partnership and I've felt ready for it for years, and it still hasn't come. So maybe he's out there in another dimension waiting for me. Would that explain it? Or do I just have a massive blind spot about dating? Do I just want too much? I don't think I do though. I think I do have quite a lot to offer. But then, if you don't have a man to prove that you've got a lot to offer, then you've got to be open to the possibility that maybe it's you. Maybe. But I do still feel like I've got loads of love to give, and I want to receive a lot as well. Let me know in the comments at what stage is it an acceptable time to be like, hello, I have a possibly terminal illness. But then the human condition is terminal as well. So I don't think that makes me, you know, more special. Or like, it doesn't make it more difficult for me than anyone else. Like, dating is hard, I think. And then, yeah, there's this kind of like temptation now to be like, oh, well, if you've rejected me, it's because I've got cancer, isn't it? But then you make your entire personality about having cancer, which it is not. So, yeah. I don't know why this stone smiled at me. It's just so quite relatively perfectly circular. I've been talking for ages now. I'm going to shut up. Thanks for watching.